Howdy 4th and 5th graders, how you doing? I hope you're ready to do some awesome artwork today because it's time for our fundraiser again. We did it last year. It's called Art to Remember, and it's where you create an artwork that you can buy on things like lunch boxes and keychains and luggage tags, coffee mugs, t-shirts, necklaces, the list goes on. Art to Remember has so many different products that you can buy to show off your artwork. And yes, you do get your original artwork on paper back, as you remember from last year. But our art room gets part of the profits from those sales. So the more products we sell with our artwork on them, the more money we get right to the art room to buy things like clay and glaze and sculpture stuff and all that expensive stuff that we don't have money for otherwise. So, to have a great fundraiser, we need to make great art. And here's what Art to Remember sent me to show us what great art looks like for this. We need to make bright, colorful artwork that fills the page, just like this elephant here. We're allowed to use markers, watercolors, paints, or crayons. And the products sell better if we draw things that our parents will love, not things that just we love. And here's what to avoid. Don't have a white background on your picture. Whatever you draw, you need to have a colorful background. Avoid small art that does not fill the page or isn't centered like that. Don't put any important details around the edge. Don't put a border around the edge. If you write anything like your name and date on this picture, you need to keep that off the edge because there's a chance it'll get slightly cut off. The last two things are you want to make sure your artwork is brightly colored, not like that owl right there where you can barely see it. And you want to make sure that you work kind of quickly to make sure it's finished. You don't want to send in a black and white picture. Okay, we're ready to get started. I apologize for my paper, by the way. It's got a little schmutz in the corner, but my plan is to just paint right over top of that. I spilled some onion ring sauce on it and I wiped it off, and so I'm still going to use the paper. The other stuff you'll need are watercolor paints, Sharpies, and a water cup. But first we need to start with a pencil. Write your name and code on the paper as always and flip it over. You need to have your paper the vertical position, so the tall way up and down, so that we can fit our llama in it. And in the top right of our paper, we are going to start with the llama's eye. It's a weird place to start, but it helps you place everything else. So the eye is going to be just a short curved line with a circle underneath it. And the angle that you put that curved line will change your llama's expression. After you have an eye that you like, you're going to draw a rainbow arch for a little ear and a straightish line for the llama's snout. Once you've got that, add another ear and a jawbone or a jawline to this llama, like this. You can always erase and try again if the first time you tried it, it didn't look so hot. But when you're ready, you can add a mouth and a little nostril with two curved lines. Now let's add the llama's neck. So llama necks are pretty long actually. They're not as long as giraffe necks, but they're way longer than horses' necks. So you're going to use two lines to show that long neck. And the front line is going to go down and curve to his chest. Once you've got the neck, you need to draw his back and his tail. Here I made a slight mistake. I feel like I made his back a little too short. So I extended it a little bit, and I'm going to add a booty, just with a curved line like that. All right, looking good. The last thing we need to work on is adding 4 legs and a belly to this beast. Let's start from the llama's booty, shall we? And we are going to draw his back leg. Now, you can keep the legs simple. You could just use rectangles to draw the legs. But if you want to make the leg look more realistic, you're going to make it look almost like a turkey leg with an elbow on it. So llamas have elbows on their front 2 legs and kind of like knees on their back 2 legs. They're usually not stick straight. So that's why I used zigzag lines for the legs. Then I added a curved line for the belly. And next comes the front legs. Again, you can just use a long, skinny rectangle for the front legs as well. But if you want it to look more realistic, you should use 2 zigzag lines and add 2 little toes on the end. Now this is where it gets a little more complicated. If you want to add the legs that are on the other side of the llama, you are going to basically copy and mirror the lines that you already drew and repeat them like that. The last thing you need before you add your own wild decorations to this llama is something called a horizon line. It's the line that shows us where's the ground at. What is this llama standing on? Where's the ground? So, once you got all that down, you're ready to decorate your llama. In South America, where llamas come from, llamas are very important. They're pack animals, so they carry stuff for people, and they help people on long journeys to carry them and their stuff. So in South America, they often decorate the llamas with really colorful, beautiful saddles and all of these pom-poms and stuff like that. So you get to add your own decorations to this llama. Be as crazy as you want. Add some stuff in the background. Like I added a big mountain and a night sky. And then everything needs to be outlined with black Sharpie, please. When you're all done with all of this stuff, it's time to add the color. So you're going to add color 2 ways. First, with the small details, you're going to color with Sharpie. Then with the larger details, you are going to paint it with watercolor. So I'm just going to show you the small details that I'm going to color in with Sharpie instead of a big paintbrush. So the little details on the llama, the stars, moon, and planets, those are all going to be colored in with a Sharpie. And here we go. Excellent. I'm very glad that I decided to color in the parts that I did with Sharpie because it's going to make it so much easier on me to paint the rest. So here I go. I'm going to use those liquid watercolors. I'm going to cover this entire picture with colors. With liquid watercolor, there are basically 2 things you need to remember. 1, clean your paintbrush in between colors. So important. The other one is very important too. To tell what each color is, because they all look pretty dark in the watercolor tray, to tell what each color is, look at the side of each well in the tray. And that's how you'll be able to see, like, oh, that's yellow. Oh, that's pink. Ooh la la, my blue llama is very, very cool looking. I really like the night sky I created with purple as well. But it's time to say bye-bye to that llama. Put him in the drawing rack. Put a lid on your watercolors. All Sharpies snapped and capped. And put everything on the tray. Bring me the tray and then wipe your table. Cannot wait to see what these llamas look like on coffee mugs and t-shirts and stuff. And I can't wait to see the creative details that you add. Bye-bye.